1 second. Oh, it's my wife. Hey, honey, I'm filming right now with some really important people. So, what's up? So what's incredible about pretending to take a call where your wife butt dials you, and she didn't hear any of that fun stuff at all. Hello? Yeah, that was a butt dial from my wife. So that's how we get started here in the 116th Congress. Just want everybody to know that. Woohoo! So Denver Riggleman, Virginia 5th District, first time, in elected office, coming in on a very easy time. We're a minority, I'm a freshman, and it's a government shutdown. So so having a lot of fun there. Thank you, watch your six. So thank you. No, thank you, man. No, it's great, it's great. No, gosh, it's okay, thank you. You're actually working. I haven't sworn in yet, I'm just kidding around right now. So, but no, so I'm pretty excited about it, to be actually elected into the biggest district in the Commonwealth. It's bigger than the state of New Jersey and parts of Delaware, 21 counties. Two major cities, Charlottesville and Danville, but also up into Warrenton and Fauquier County. So our district is about 1 hour to 5 hours away from this area, so it's a lot of fun. So that's me. Yeah, come on through. But yeah, so I wanted my full name on the nameplate here because my grandfather is Denver Lee Riggleman Sr. He died in March of 2015. My dad, Denver Lee Riggleman Jr. will be here, as is my stepdad, Greg, and my mom. So, but we wanted my full name here, actually, not just for me, it's actually for my grandfather also. My gosh, I have a phone going. It is good to serve again. It's in my DNA, from my military background, and I just believe that we have an opportunity to do great things here if we can, get some people with some common sense and maybe not so partisan, and not just here to have a job. I don't think this is a job, this is service. And what are they going to do if I'm not here forever? What, send me back to the distillery? I think I'll be all right. I think there's a reason that good people don't run. What was it, 3 weeks afterwards, to get attacked on such a personal level that I got attacked on. I really thought this was going to be like a battle of ideas thing. I thought that, a battlefield of ideas where it's somebody like me who always errs on the side of liberty, where I think people can actually make better decisions for themselves rather than the government. And then I'm just fighting somebody who thinks the government is actually, the most pure thing in the world, right? Which I fear my government. I think that's why the Constitution was written. Of course, our founders believed in government, but limited government. So I thought this would be a battlefield of ideas thing, but as soon as she, as my opponent started losing the battle of ideas, which took about 5 minutes. See my Bigfoot socks? It became about Bigfoot erotica, became about, making fun of my military service, which was ridiculous.
Denver was not in Afghanistan.
Having no idea even what really the military does. I was trending #1 on Twitter. Right? Never thought that would happen. I never thought I'd be on Saturday Night Live.
Virginia Republican Denver Riggleman, who won his election despite being accused of being a devotee of Bigfoot erotica.
Never thought that Colbert would be making fun of me.
This race has been rocked by scandal because Bigfoot porn is shaking up the Virginia congressional race.
Right? Colbert or Fallon or Kimmel and stuff that was a lie. But I think really the campaign, it ended up that our ideas won out. And I just find it amazing that I'm sitting here, but what my family went through was worse than what I went through. There was terror in our family when I announced, and fear, but there was also this sense of, bring it. We had groups, send letters to our friends saying that, who owned other businesses, if they didn't take our signs, my sign out of their yards, they would boycott them. We had some bizarre phone calls to the distillery. You can imagine we're right there on Route 151 in Nelson. You can't miss us, right? There's 1,200 people that'll come through there on a Saturday. A lot of tears. The first few weeks were awful. The attacks, things like that. And I actually, at some points, and I'll say this to you all, you think you're going to get out of the race for your family based on the business and based on what you've built. But what we found is our business exploded. We've had an incredible growth curve, at Silverback, and we opened our second location during this time. So I think it's all that happened. It was this abject fear and terror. But now, let me tell you, my family are scrappers. And, my 3 daughters, if you meet them in an alleyway, watch out. They'll get you if they think they're coming after your dad, right? And you guys have met Christine, my wife. She's Whew, I wouldn't mess with her. I mean, she has her own knife collection, for goodness sakes. So this is the office. We did some cool things. My daughter makes her own teas, so she got teas for me with a little kettle. Worked for NSA, can't get into this computer, which is sort of funny. I can't seem to figure this thing out, but they'll figure it out for me. And also, you guys know my background, not only DOD, Department of Defense, Chief Executive Officer, military, got out as a captain, did a bunch of cool stuff, in the military. We also own a distillery in Afton, Virginia, in Nelson County. But I just got to find out where ICE is. I'm still trying to find out where the bathrooms are. And of course, my silverback cigar box, right? Anyhow, so I'm pretty excited. My daughter also makes candles, my other daughter. So she also makes her own special candles. This is the smoked old-fashioned candle right here. So really it is a family endeavor, just like with our distillery, just like with everything I've done. We just want to make sure my family is represented in here, as much as I can. So, do I have time to get coffee or anything to eat?
Yeah.
I think I can get to the Dunkin' Donuts though, right? Isn't it right downstairs?
Take a right, first stairs down, take a right.
Take a right down the first stairs to the Dunkin' Donuts. But if I get lost, is it going to be embarrassing on television or on?
Yes, it will be.
Then I'm perfect for this. Come on, man, let's go. So these are stairs that go downstairs. I think there's a Dunkin' Donuts up here. Everybody automatically, and they do, believes they have complete access to. So now I'm waiting in line, and hey, people are lobbying, to make sure that, about the watershed for Chesapeake, So we're pretty excited that, but they came up to me in the Dunkin' Donuts line and pitched me right there. So, and I forget that, a lot of people sort of know who you are, I would say the biggest positive, which was actually the people on the trail. I was born and raised in Virginia. When I found out I was the only native-born Virginian left in the entire delegation, so every congressman, every senator in Virginia, Democrat or Republican, I'm the only one born and raised in Virginia. And I thought I knew Virginia. Nah, once you run, you're in the 5th district, which you guys know is massive. So I'm running this entire district, and I found out that there's so many people with so many different problems, and you're so affected by their personal stories. And I think what the positive was in this whole thing is that I realized, how small a representative is in the whole concept or scheme of things, and how big the responsibility is on the flip side of that. And it is so humbling and overwhelming. I don't know why people think this is something that's about power or it's something about somehow lording over others. Man, you are serving 730,000 people. Me, right? To represent a district larger than New Jersey with a GDP difference, a family GDP district. The northern part is 91,000 per year for a family of 4, and Danville it's 37,000. Look at that delta, right? I have to represent everyone. We're an agricultural district, almost, that's our biggest industry. But then when you look on the flip side of that, we have the Defense Intelligence Agency and the National Ground Intelligence Center, Department of Defense companies, and we have everybody in the northern part of the district that commutes to DC. I think really it's about learning your district and understanding that until you run for office, you don't know what people are thinking until you do it. But I also found out you have to have a great staff. And I was very lucky to have probably one of the most professional staffs you can, one of the most professional staffs that you could have. And the fact is that I needed a professional staff because I'd never done this before. So my learning curve was straight up, and I'm also pretty happy I can learn fast enough to win an election. So I think that's what was proven, is that even people like me can win elections. I think that was the great thing about it. We have Ben Mullaney, who sits here. He was a political director during the campaign, and now we have him licking envelopes because we think that's what he's really good at. We have Lexi over here. Lexi is just incredible. She was also in the campaign. I think she knocked more doors than just about everybody. We have two important people. Haley is usually here. She's our scheduler. Haley, without her, I probably wouldn't even be able to get out of the door knowing where I'm going. She does everything. She's an amazing human being. and that's because we have an incredible chief in Dave Natonsky over here. Dave, actually I think Haley worked for Dave. So would you guys like to go see the legislative office? Let's go do this. This is where our LAs, our LCs, and our LD sits, who's on the back left. And our LD is also incredibly important. I would say, you know, I have to lean on them to make sure that we're trying to get through all the bills because, you know, you're talking about the latest bill, I think is 1,070 pages. So we have to, you know, get through that. Right here, Joe Chilak, who you guys have been talking to as far as comms and press. So this is where everybody sits. So this is the ledge office, legislative office. As you can see, I'm getting down, you know, the vernacular of Congress, so I got to figure out, or at least pretend that I know what I'm talking about as I get started, since this is my first time in elected office. So Jason does our foreign policy stuff. Is that the foreign policy stuff guy? Is that the Is that the official? Is that the formal title? Stuff. Yeah, stuff. I couldn't even go in the Dunkin' Donuts line, man. What's going on?
Hey, Johnny, what's up? Good to see you again.
I do.
How you doing? Yeah.
What's going on, buddy?
Just having a while. I was like, oh, this is,
I'm glad you came in. Did I give this to you, Borden?
You can give me whatever you
So, no, it's the clean water something. So, for the Chesapeake Bay watershed, I told them I would, you know, meet with them.
Okay.
So I got their cards.
Great.
So,
I'll take them.
yeah, okay. What's happening is that, like with Dave, we have a bunch of good-looking people coming in to offset me on camera. So I'm glad you came in.
You got to do a little bit better than that.
I think Dave's a pretty sexy guy. I think, you know. So
you know.
this is there. You know, I'm on mic right now, right?
Oh, I'm sure they'll edit all this out.
Your wife will love this.
She's on her way. She's going to come by and come
Oh, she's gonna come by?
ceremony. So.
Oh, I love it.
She's looking forward to meeting you.
Okay, we have a ceremony.
She's wearing a ceremony.
Oh yeah, that's today. Yeah, it's a joke. Again, that was a joke about Haley. That was a joke. Okay, never mind. I'll go back. What do you guys need me to do before we go? Because we're leaving now.
Yeah, well, we should go by the speaker's lobby to pick up your member plan.
Can we go now? Do we want to do that now?
Yeah, we probably want to do that before the...
I have stuff coming up for you guys that I ordered that Joe's waiting for.
Okay.
For the day. So, but we need to go now, Haley?
Do you need something?
Okay.
Is Joe bringing it up, or is it?
Yeah, he's bringing it up. I got you guys a dozen donuts for the day, so you can eat. And then, yeah, so I got my donuts too, but I can forego my donuts because of my diet. This is like high school. And even when you see the cliques that start to form, you see these cliques starting to form on both sides of the parties. For me, I was pretty popular in high school, but it's because I was friends with. Now remember, I lived in the '80s, so some of this language, you know, people might understand. But you know, the stoners, you know, the jocks, right, the nerds. You know, I was friends with everybody. I think I got to be friends with the stoners, the jocks, and the nerds now. I think that's the best way to do business because I don't have to prove anything to anybody about my life. But I do have to prove to the 5th District that I can work with everyone, whether it's the far right, far left, center right. My job as a 5th District representative is to work with everybody to get the things done we need. But it has to stay within the left-right constitutional boundaries that are set for us, you know, through our government, and to make sure that whenever I argue, it's that the people can pick better in their lives than the government can. That's the basis of my arguments and what I'm going to do for the 5th District.
Do you have any goals for this year, your freshman year?
Yeah, lose 10 pounds. I think it's to stabilize the 5th District. I just got to run an office that is, the highest standards to ethics, integrity, and transparency. That's always been what I want to do in my life. I guess it's difficult as a politician, but I'm still going to try. So I think the other thing too is, the 3 things we concentrated on in district was healthcare, immigration, and taxation. Try to keep those, tax cuts in place for business. Make sure that we continue to deregulate. That's sort of under the taxation thing for me. As far as immigration, secure the border, but I think we have got to have Congress come up with some solutions to the immigration crisis that we have. And when I say that, it's actually to streamline it, make it easier, because we have labor issues in the 5th District. They need H-2A workers, right? And we got to figure that out. And the other thing's healthcare. I mean, it's going to be interesting how this goes down, because as a free market guy, I think I'm going to have to make some concessions to protections in order to try to keep the free market involved as much as I can in healthcare. And when you look at even the issues I've gone through with my own company there, it's been awful. So it's actually setting a standard for character. And despite any argument that I make for the 5th and for the Constitution, is that people know I'm transparent and that my argument comes from a good place. And I think if I do that, I think I've succeeded.
So like earlier, sorry, I didn't catch you because I was like also running around. So like we were all kind of all over the place. It's our first day we're living. But so what'll happen is once it's called, we'll let you know, be like, hey, votes are called, I'll come in and grab you and I'll give you a warning of like, hey, we need to wrap some of the things up, get moving, and then we'll all get you to the floor.
I'm very in shape now.
Yes, I know.
So if you need me to run back and forth, I can.
Yeah, well,
Oh. You just saw me talking to Haley, you know, my scheduler, and really what it comes down to is it's her job to worry and to stress now. I just found that out. So I guess it's going to be easy for me from now on. No, it really is about preparation, but it's I think it's a very unique circumstance being in the minority the first time that I'm in Congress, and also during a shutdown and voting, you know, simultaneously, and trying to learn that as quickly as we can. But my staff has been briefing me back and forth. I'm reading as fast as I can. It's just pretty amazing that they talk about bipartisanship, but they're already trying to, you know, get ahead of the game to where we don't have a whole lot of time to prepare. But that's okay. I read fast. I was a speed reader since I was, you know, yesterday. No, I'm just kidding. No. It was incredible. I mean, to look up and see my family, you know, looking down, you know, it's just pretty amazing to have my mom and my daughters and my wife, you know, they're seeing it. So pretty overwhelming. And to actually be in that body it's just really an amazing experience. I never thought I'd actually be wearing this pin. So pretty amazing to me that I have this. And I think they said, and I hope we can fact check this, I don't think there's ever been a multicolor pin of red and blue. I'm not quite sure, but I'm wearing the 116th Congress pin, and it's incredibly surreal. But no, I'm pretty excited about it. It is the American dream. So.